We're here to talk about madness. And we're here to reclaim our right to operate in society. Let's talk about some history. Now, I've read an article recently in the Sunday Times. My goodness, does he buy the Sunday Times? Yes, he does. Okay, that means he must be right-wing. Okay, so I was reading the Sunday Times, and there's this book that's coming out. I can tell you, I've got the magazine in front of me. Desperate Remedies. By Andrew Scull, and it's the history of trying to cure mental ill health or emotional ill health or just emotions in general, because we don't want people to have any emotions, do we? Basically this book, it sort of goes through the history of what we did to people who might have felt emotional or frustrated or upset or angry or in fear, or who started to distrust what was going on around them, which then has a knock-on effect, doesn't it, to behaviours? Because if you start to mistrust people and then they start to behave in a way that they don't trust you, then you're going to start creating something, because we have this wonderful thing in here. This is our TARDIS. This is our interdimensional travelling device in here. It's called a brain, and it houses an imagination. And in that imagination, we can go wherever we like. Because we also sense stuff, don't we? We also sense smells, don't we? You have a smell. So you're walking through, I don't know, I mean, I'm not talking about horrible smells. I'm talking about a nice smell. You might smell somebody's perfume as you're walking past them in the street, and it reminds you of a perfume that your mother used to wear 20 years ago, and your mother sadly died, but suddenly everything comes flooding back. You go to somebody's house and they're cooking toad in the hole, which is sausages and batter, basically. Yes, anyway, go with it. And it reminds you of a smell from your childhood, and you're instantly transported, and your brain unlocks all of that, and suddenly you're there, aren't you? Suddenly you're there in your living room, at your dining table, or wherever it is, and you can see everybody around you, and you're transported back in time, and your imagination has done that. And for a split second, it's real. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Why should that be questioned? So according to this here book, which is being released, we go through this whole history of things, and we come up with all these remedies to try and cure people from feeling those things. Because, we don't want people to feel emotions, do we? That's just bonkers, man. We want everyone to be straight down the line. Don't pass go and don't collect £200. So what do? Well, here's some things I used to do. Electrotherapy was one. Could zap it out of them. They regress to when they're 5 years old, and like wipe the slate clean. Start from blank canvas time. Start again. The other one was drilling. What was it? They thought that they release the blood or something, and it would suddenly cure them of mental ill health. What? You're going to drill inside their head? What? So you drill in, right? And then all these dark emotions just seep out. It's like releasing the pressure. I mean, with that sort of attitude, no wonder people went mad, because you're scared. You're scared of being labelled as mad, so you start behaving as mad. And the maddest people are the ones who say, I'm not mad. How do you believe them? Do you know that I saw this film yesterday called Stonehurst Asylum? It's okay. I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's an okay film. Anyway, in it, Ben Kingsley of esteemed actor fame, he plays a patient and who becomes a doctor, and he says everybody is mad, but some are not mad enough to admit it, and that is right. You see, because now, where are we? Now we're in a position where, oh, no, we don't want to drill into people's heads. No, we won't be doing any of that. No, instead, we're going to give you these drugs, which will completely wipe out all your emotions, and you just become a zombie sitting on the sofa, staring into space. Yes, that's what we want, isn't it? Because that's what we're creating now. We're just dishing them out like Smarties. There you go. There you go. Are you crying? There's some pills. Are you feeling a bit lonely? There's some pills. What? Who is this serving? Who is this serving? Is this any better? And I'm asking a question now. Is this any better than the procedures of before? Of locking people up, of for crying, of there's a list of things, and I wrote it in my book. There's a list of things people were locked into in mental asylum for. A lot of it was masturbation, which I don't see anything wrong with either. It's all about control. So what do? Let's make the population drugged up so they're apathetic. Apathy. Do you know apathy is close to a pathway? A pathway through society to get to where you want to be. Who's controlling that? You know, there's 2 letters that stop a pathway from being apathy, and that is wah, wah, wah. Anyway, ranting is good for the soul. It's also good to release your emotions. Otherwise, they stir inside, and when you're a kettle, like I was, and possibly still am, then you find other ways of releasing that internal pressure of emotion. And I did lots of things to do that, which I will divulge. Well, you can read my book, Read my book, and then you'll find out, won't you? Apathy is a pathway. We're being manipulated into something. For what? For what good? For whose good? An apathetic population just lets everything ride, man. Let it all go, man. Hey, there's a politician who's corrupt and evil and gaining all this money. Well, that's fine. Doesn't really matter, does it? Doesn't really matter. I'll just sit here and watch Netflix. The truth is somewhere in between. I don't say I know the truth. I'm just giving you an idea. Let's reclaim madness. Let's reclaim the bongos. You too can make your own bongos using, and I'm not getting paid for this, Pringles tubes.